Hi everyone. So welcome back to my bike lit YouTube video. So this video has been lit by my bike light because I have no idea how to make videos and I'll find out if you can help, but then that's just me being lazy because I should really look into it. But this is fun still and um yeah, let I'm happy to share with you this amazing sublime poem. So hope you get comfortable and um get ready to take a journey into evolution of us. It's called Evolutionary Remembering by John Seed and Pat Fleming. Part 1. And thank God I have this microphone because I bought it last year to record the most magical book that came into my life. I'm still in progress of recording it, but there are some chapters alive on my channel, which you're welcome to have a listen. Yeah, it's a step-by-step guide into the purification process. Anyways, here we go. Part 1. From the beginning of the universe. Now, let us go back, way back before the birth of our planet Earth, back to the mystery of the universe coming into being. We go back 13,300 million years to a time of primordial silence, or emptiness. Before the beginning of time, the very ground of being. From this state of immense potential, an unimaginably powerful explosion takes place. Energy traveling at the speed of light hurtles in all directions, creating direction, creating the universe. It is so hot in these first moments that no matter can exist, only pure energy in the form of light. Thus time and space are born. All that is now, every galaxy, star and planet, every particle existing comes into being at this great fiery birthing. Every particle which makes up you and me comes into being at this instant and has been circulating through countless forms ever since. Born of this great cauldron of creativity. When we look at the candle flame or a star, we see the light of the fireball. Your metabolism burns with that same fire now. Wow. That reminds me, we should light a candle. Because we would like company. And I feel every time I light a candle, it I don't know, candle flame feels like it's witnessing of its surroundings every time it's lit. And it's my friend. I just have a really big connection with candle flames. And I feel like I can look into it and I feel like it's collecting all these moments in time. I don't know. Anyways. Okay. So, after one Earth year, the universe has cooled down to some 13 billion degrees centigrade. It now occupies a sphere of perhaps 17 billion miles in diameter. This continues to expand and stream outward. Some 300,000 years pass, while space grows to about 1 billionth of its present volume and cools to a few thousand degrees, about as hot and bright as the visible surface of the sun. The electrons are now cool enough for the electric force to snare, cool enough for matter to take form. Matter begins to assume its familiar atomic form for the first time. The first atoms are of hydrogen, then helium, and then other gases. These gases exist as huge swirling masses of superhot cosmic clouds drawn together by the allure of gravity. These slowly condense into forms we know as galaxies, and our own galaxy, the Milky Way, dances among them. Purged of free electrons, the universe becomes highly transparent by its millionth birthday. Within the Milky Way, our sun was born about 5 billion years ago, near the edge of this galaxy, while the cosmic dust and gas spinning around it crystallized into planets. The third planet from the sun, our own Earth, came into being about 4.5 billion years ago. The ground then was rock and crystal beneath, which burned tremendous fires. Heavier matter like iron sank to the center. The lighter elements floated to the surface, forming a granite crust. Continuous volcanic activity brought up a rich supply of minerals and lifted up chains of mountains. Then about 4 billion years ago, when the temperature fell below the boiling point of water, it began to rain. Hot rain slowly dissolved the rocks upon which it fell, and the sea became a thin, salty soup containing the basic ingredients necessary of life. Finally, a bolt of lightning fertilized this molecular soup, and an adventure into biology began. The first cell was born. You were there. I was there. For every cell in our bodies is descended in an unbroken chain from that event. Through the cell, our common ancestor, we are related to every plant and animals on the earth. Part 2. Meditation on the evolution of organic life. Remember that cell awakening? Be that cell awakening, as indeed you are. We are all composed of that cell which grew, diversified, multiplied, and evolved into all the biota of the earth. What does it feel like to reproduce by dividing into two parts that were me, and now we go our separate ways? Now, some hundreds of million years have passed. First, we were algae, the original green plants, then the first simple animals. The algae started to produce oxygen as a byproduct of photosynthesis, and this, over 1 billion years or so, created a membrane of ozone, filtering out some of the fiercest solar rays. Now I am a creature in the water. For 2.5 billion years, simple forms of life wash back and forth in the ocean currents. Imagine them as I speak their names: coral, snail, squid, worms, insects, spiders. Imagine yourself as perhaps a simple worm or an early coral living in the warm sea. How adorable, right? Feel your existence at this time, for it remains within each of your cells, the memories of this period in your childhood. Fish. This was followed by the evolution of fish and other animals with backbones. How does it feel to have a flexible backbone? How do you move through the water as a fish? Lying belly down, staying in one place, begin to experience gentle side-to-side rolling with your head, torso, and lower body moving all as one. How does the world look, feel, sound? Be aware of your backbone, your head, your gills. What does it feel like to move through the ocean, to listen through the ocean? Amphibian. Finally, about 450 million years ago, the first plants emerged from the water and began to turn the rock into soil, preparing the ground for animals to follow. The first animals to emerge from the seas were the amphibians. Slowly use your forearms to drag your body along. Pull with your left and right together. As amphibians, we are still very dependent on the water, especially for our reproductive cycle. Reptile. It wasn't until the evolution of the reptilian amniotic egg that we were liberated from our dependence on water and able to move completely onto dry land, still crawling on your belly. Start to use legs coordinated with arms, alternating from one side to the other. Notice how our range of movement and perception changes. By 200 million years ago, we had successfully moved onto the land. Early mammal. As mammals, we became warm-blooded. Remember how as reptile, you used to have to wait, sluggish, for the sun to warm you? The sun now fuels your metabolism in a more complex way. What are the advantages of this? Living in holes, alert, sense of smell, sampling molecules from the air, breathe before being consumed. All of us are descended from this pedigree of 4 billion years. At every step, billions fell by the wayside, but each of us was there. In this game, to throw tales once is to fall by the wayside, extinct, a ghost. Imagine yourself as Lemuel, or perhaps as a small cat. Notice how supple your spine feels. How is your belly off the floor? Begin crawling on your hands and knees. How does this newfound freedom feel? How does your head move? Now our young needs to be looked after until they can fend for themselves. Early monkey. Begin moving on hands and feet with greater lightness, leaping and climbing. Discover more flexibility in movement of the spine, head, and neck. Make sounds. Notice increasing playfulness, and curiosity. We move through the trees, running along branches and swinging through them. Our strong, opposable thumbs giving us the grip we need. Our sensitive fingertips with nails instead of claws, able to judge the ripeness of fruit or groom. Agile balance and keen vision develop. We eat food on the spot where we found it. Find it. Great ape. Our body becomes heavier and stronger. We can squat erect but use knuckles to walk. Experiment with balancing. How does the world look and smell? Communication? 10 million years ago, a major climate change began, and the forest, home of the ape, began to retreat to the mountains and were replaced by woodland and open savanna. Early human. It is here on the open savanna that we first learned to walk on two legs. Standing on 2 feet with strong jaw thrust forward. How does it feel? Vulnerable but inventive and adaptable. Able to look up and easily see the sky. We've postponed eating food until it can be brought back to camp and shared. We live in families, discover language, catch fire, make art, music, tools. The complexities and subtleties of cooperating successfully with others in a group involves the development of language, telling of stories, and use of tools, the making of fires. About 100,000 years ago, during the warm interglacial period, a new hominid species emerged called Neanderthal. They bury their dead, sometimes with flint tools. Many in a fetal position, suggesting a return to the womb of Mother Earth for rebirth, often in graves lying on an east-west axis. On the path of the sun, which is reborn every day, their practice of burying the dead shows a dramatic increase in human self-consciousness. Now physical evolution stands still and cultural evolution takes place. Modern human. Developing farming, working on the land in marketplaces, moving to town, seeing houses, temples, skyscrapers, walking through busy streets, driving in cars. What do you see and hear and smell and feel? How does it feel to be dwelling more often in cities? How have you become more separate from the earth? Now you are pushing your way through a crowded street. You're in a hurry. Everyone is in your way. Future human. The possible human, to the extent that we surrender our tiny self to our actual biological being, we can then manifest the powerful erotic energy of evolution, and then our personalities slowly come to partake of the nature of evolution, the nature of the planet home. Sitting down quietly by yourself, in your mind's eye, open to any glimpses, images, forms that are waiting to emerge as future human life. Potential in us is waiting to awaken a larger ecological self, living fully as part of nature, expressing our full potential in whatever way may occur to us. form. Now slowly come back and opening your eyes. Find a partner close by and sit with them, taking turns speaking, going back over the stages you remember, describing in the first person what you experienced, what you have noticed about each life form. Use the present tense. I am a single cell, and I notice. You are now recounting your evolutionary journey, recounting how the cosmic journey has been for you so far. And that's it. There you go. It's pretty incredible how far we came and that we are an unbroken chain of evolution that's began probably beyond Big Bang. And you know, the more I meditate, I feel we are all guided, and the nature of evolution is the very hand that's holding us like a wine glass. That whatever happens, that we'll be actually okay. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this poem. It did, when I read it myself, it made me literally, I was crying my eyeballs out. Because when it was listing all these different animals, I literally felt like a memory, like, oh my God, I remember coming out of the water and seeing the sun and all other sorts. Anyway, it may sound weird, but you know, creativity is something beautiful. Yep, so I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you have any beautiful poems that you like to share, let me know. And I send everyone so much love.